Sometime probably in 1994. Every Saturday I would go to this program on the weekend for about 2 hours and work with these young men. And at that time they were saying troubled young men who needed a structured environment. After a year of working the program lost its funding, and the two directors said, hey, we don't want to stop this. Can you continue to work with our guys? And I was like, yeah. And in the time when they asked me that, I was like, well, I got to come up with a name for my program. You know, what is it going to be? And I think God just gave me Positive Growth. Positive Growth, 20 years later, a residential home with 3 cottages, an independent living program, a transitional living program, a multicultural center, an education center, and an intervention program. So we're really looking at now, we're serving our community.
For the residential program, we work with youth that are aged 12 to 21, and they come to us from the Department of Family and Children's Services as a result of abuse or neglect. And while they're here, we're working with them to help turn those lemons into lemonade. Meaning that, yes, you've experienced some trauma. Yes, it did not feel or taste good. But you know what? Once you actually make the decision that I'm not going to be what my past was, I have a future, and my future is determined by me.
Positive Growth it's the home for these guys. We don't call it group home anymore. It's called now residential facility, but the reality is it's home. And by it being that home, then we make sure they have the necessary ingredients that a home has. The discipline structure, the support structure from a finance vantage point and an academic vantage point, meals and a bed and a safe place to dwell. But along with that is interaction. It's what makes the environment genuine and helps them thrive and grow positively.
And I had young men that right now today that come back to see me with families, with kids, married, military careers, college graduates. I've had probably about 1,400 young men that have actually come through our program.
Well, I came to Positive Growth when I was 15, and I wouldn't say a bad kid, but I got in if I had too much time on my hands, I would get into trouble. And it's like I just kept going from group home to group home because nobody really gave me a chance, or I guess showed me that they loved and cared about me. So when I came to Positive Growth, I learned a lot of things like discipline, respect, what it's like to have a family. I learned what it feels like when someone truly cares about you.
So from a board perspective, I've been part of the board now for 2 years. So for me, it's something different. It's a different role, but I still do my part with the young men, because to me, that's the draw to me, is the young men. So there's a need, for more people to be part of the board, but even from a volunteer perspective, because, these young men just need another voice, and also just positive role models. It doesn't mean you have to be the CEO of a company, or you can do all kinds of various different jobs or do various different things, or even from entrepreneurship for these young men. And and I think that's a big need, and definitely even from a male perspective.
A lot of young men that I work with didn't have, fathers or a male sort of figure to present those guidance to them. And so I found myself, being looked at and called by many, dad or pops.
Mr. Arnold. I call him dad. Because it's like they're always there for me. They're like a father figure more than just the group home people or the group home owners. They're like parents to me.
Clarkston has embraced Positive Growth. The community has embraced Positive Growth. We partner with United Way. We're a United Way agency. The school system, the Cobb County school system, Department of Human Resources, Department of Family and Children's Services, Department of Juvenile Justice. We're partnering with the International Refugee Center, is one of the agencies that we're working with. They sort of vet different individuals that come in. If they see that there's a need for additional behavioral health or mental health services, they refer the individuals to our Multicultural Center.
At the Multicultural Center have done collaboration with all the resettlement agencies in the Metro Atlantic area. And also we have a wonderful new program, group therapy. The group therapy, it's an amazing. Believe me, it's not easy to do a group with the clients that from different countries, that back home they are fighting together, or different tribes, back home they are fighting together, or different religion, back home they are fighting together, sitting together. And when I see them, I just want you to see that you will start smiling. Oh, that's positive growth is an example. If we increase it, we might stop many wars, believe me, yes.
My dream and desire is that when we talk about help, healing, wholeness, safe, nurturing, at the end, that the name positive growth would come out of their mouths. I look back on that and I'm kind of wowed by it, because the intent was just, for me, was more ministry than it was for anything else. I sort of, embrace the idea of working with someone who is trying to find their way.